Hey everybody, today I'm bringing you another dual project. This is again for the Love Winter Art Creative Arts collaboration, and I combined that with my November Daily Art Journal prompt, and today's prompt was Moon and Stars. So I started out with an Artist Seller stencil. This is from the Tam's Whimsy series that has moon and stars and hearts on it, and I just added the stars and the moon to the top, and I actually did this whole page backwards. I'll just tell you that up front. I should have worked on my background first on what I wanted and then stenciled these moon and stars onto it, because you'll see that I continually struggle with the color I end up with on these moon and stars. They're just entirely too dark, but it's a learning lesson and it's just paint and paper, so I just kept rolling with it. So this is with the Liquitex Light Modeling Paste, which dries nice and quick. If you're not overly heavy-handed with it, I'll add that. Alright, I'm taking an old Stampin' Up! Stamp of a kind of cartoony nativity scene and stamping that with archival ink on some cardstock, and I'm going to color that with my Faber-Castell Aquarelle pencils, and just using a water brush to blend that out. So here's where I started to go wrong with my coloring. This is a Lindy's Stamp Gang Magicals powder. I think this is called Sleigh Bells or Jingle Bell or something. I don't know. Anyway, it was entirely too dark. These are beautiful, beautiful products. They're mica powder, and they're usually kind of two-toned. And I was just too heavy-handed with this. I should have started with the yellow and then come in and added some gold. But I didn't. And see, here I'm going to try some with a lighter color to it, and then I try the lighter color by itself, and you'll see later I come back with some paint, and yeah, just not ever really happy with these stars, but I just keep rolling with it. Okay, so now that I have these brown moon and stars, I'm going to start working on the background, which, as I said at the beginning, I did this whole thing backwards. This is what I should have done first, and then come back in and put this stenciled stars in, but I didn't. So I'm working with some color bloom spray, some Lindy spray, some more magical powders. I kind of get a muddy mess in the middle, and my mantra for this page just seems to be, I'm just going to keep going, darn it, and add more stuff and see if I can't make it look like I want it to. I wanted this to look like a deep, dark blue, pretty, you know, nighttime background. This is sort of a nighttime nativity scene, if you will, and I just couldn't get there. And honestly, once I got completely done with this page, I fought the urge to completely cover it with white gesso and start over, but I decided not to. I decided I'd just see where I ended up with this. Yeah, so here I come again, trying to do something with these stars. Good grief, Sherry, just leave it alone. I can hear you saying that. Just stop it already. This did help brighten them up a little bit, but in my opinion still not enough. But I guess we'll call this kind of a rustic, dusky evening in Bethlehem. Alright, so I wanted to darken up the bottom of this page and look like obviously that there's land or whatever down here, and eventually I'm going to darken this up a lot more where my little people are going to go, because I want it to be like kind of like you're either looking into the manger or into the stable a little bit. So I wanted to darken it up behind them, which you'll see me do. Here I'm just grasping at straws what to do to make this background look better. So yeah, I'm just gonna splatter the heck out of it with white paint, with blue paint, with gold paint, and hope for the best. I guess this is the dilemma that you face when you have something in mind that you want to create and you just can't get what's in your head onto the paper, and you just have to, you know, like I said, you just kind of have to roll with it. Sometimes it turns out way better than you expected, and this piece may grow on me, but right now this just didn't turn out the way I wanted to. So here I'm taking the last of that magical concoction I had mixed up, rubbing it on there with a dauber to make that darker background for that cutout to be on, because it just didn't pop off the page enough, I didn't feel like. And you know, we gotta have some page popping happening on here. And I had to just be happy with what I got, because I didn't have any more stuff mixed up and I didn't want to mix up anymore. So that's my story and I'm sticking to it. So I put foam tape on the back of my cutout so it will be elevated a little bit on the page, and that'll help give it a natural shadow as well. And I thought, well, I might as well just write on this page too. So I took one of my metallic Sharpies, and I'm going to write, "Oh Holy Night" up in the sky. Couldn't decide whether I wanted to do that or "Away in the Manger" or what. And I thought, well, those are short words. They'll fit up there and amongst all those moon and stars. And a little bit of edging around the page. And I'm going to call it good and walk away from it, darn it. So thank you for going on this journey with me on this interesting page that wasn't what I planned. Do check out the other Love Winter Art and November Daily Art Journal projects that are out there. And I hope you have a fabulous, fabulous, fabulous day. Thanks for coming by.